Namaste, Jai Bharat. People have tried in different ways to understand the concept of religion. The concept of religion is entirely different from a concept of Dharma. I have to say this because I come from a different epistemological category of human existence, that is the Bharatiya knowledge tradition. The Bharatiya knowledge tradition or the Indian knowledge tradition stands apart from the European knowledge tradition in ethics, in epistemology, metaphysics, and also in most aspects. So here, when you talk about religion, if you analyze religion very objectively, the positive contributions of religions, if you put in one basket, and the negative connotations and contributions, I would not say contributions indeed, of course, of religion, you put in a different basket, and you judge for yourself which basket should be weighing more, positive or negative. I leave it to you, to your ingenuity, perception, understanding, and thought process. Some people try to understand religion again, this is all European context, religion concept. In Bharat, the whole thing becomes entirely different. Much later, maybe about 60 years or 70 years before it, maybe or even 80 years before, somebody tried to study religion. That was Chicago University and Amsterdam. Some people, basically philosophers, they felt the need of a philosophy of religions. There used to be, or there is still, a paper or an area of study in philosophy which is philosophy of religion. And these people, they are like Kitagawa, Rudolf Otto, and Castanegara, and Mercier Eliot. These people, professors of course, they thought, they understood, or they feel that, they discussed, they also say that all these discussions on philosophy of religion paper or the area of where we study philosophy of religion are concerning around just one religion, that's Christianity or the Judeo-Christian tradition. So what we need in the academia is not just one philosophy of religion, they needed philosophies of religion. That's the need of the time, need of the world, that there are multiple religions, therefore each religion should have its own philosophy. Therefore what one ought to study in universities are philosophies of religion. This is what they have taught, and therefore thereupon for the first time, I think, in the history of academia, they set up a department for religion, and then of course it continued elsewhere. That's one thing. Then they try to define religion as, I think it is Rudolf Otto or Kitagawa who defines religion as the fundamental intentionality of human consciousness towards the sacred. Fine, that's one way. Here of course it's all metaphysical kind of definition, but what otherwise is religion? But in the history again, I'm talking about European world, repeat, in the European world history again, you don't find many people who attacking religion explicitly, not even Epicurus. Epicurus might be standing for he's looking for reality, that's an ontological situation he is in, but not a critic of religion. And perhaps none other than Marx began the critical enterprise of towards religion. And of course Marx has got this obsession with critiquing, criticizing, critical. He has written, he ended up writing this book, Critic of Critical Criticism. Yes, this word. That book's name, if I'm right, is Holy Family or Critic of Critical Criticism. Just look at this arrangement of words. Holy Family or Critic of Critical Criticism. Marx is very poetic, absolutely very poetic. If he was good at quite a few things, but mostly he was very good at arranging words, his prose are very, very poetic, very insightful, poetically, very poetically. Otherwise, as a theory maker, or as a system builder, as a philosopher, is a flop, absolutely flop. That speculation, Europeans do only speculative philosophy, that's a flop. But he is the one who talked about religion as a soul of soulless creature, etc., etc. Soulless situations, and its opium of people. He ended up saying that in a small booklet, critic of Hegel's philosophy of right. He made a criticism of a book which written by Hegel, and in that he mentions it is the opium of people. Of course, he contextualizes it, saying that he begins the paragraph saying for Germany. So taking it out of context could be, one should be very careful how to what extent it can be applied to other societies. So that's one sect. But when it comes to the Bharatiya knowledge tradition, there is no concept of religion as you find in the European knowledge tradition. We have concepts of dharma. In Sanskrit, it is dharma we call, not religion. And when you study, dharma is not religion. These two are two entirely different things. And it would take serious kind of long talks about how they are different. Actually, they are very, very seriously different. They are not one and the same at all, as people might be treating and thinking. Must be treating or thinking. So, here of course the concept of religion is entirely different. It's dharma. And dharma has got so many self-correcting ingredients built in, which makes it unique. There are dharma itself is righteousness, and there is no one dharma per se. Though religion is called as dharma, there is no one dharma per se. There are swadharmas. There are individual dharmas. For a person and his role in society, pertaining to the role in a society, there should be distinct dharmas for that person to follow, and once everyone does that, the whole society becomes dharmic. And religion is a transcendental aspiration of man, which is built in, if you look at the stages of in yoga, you transcend. The mundane goes to the divine. And when it comes to Aurobindo's integral yoga, the mundane not only goes to the divine, it brings back the divine to the mundane to share it with those who are mundane, who are unable to transcend. That's very interesting. So this here is dharma. All things put together we can call as a blanket term dharma. But otherwise, if you can find dharma individually, multiple dharmas, each one has to follow in his role in his life. Whichever role, each role must be having a dharma, and if everyone performs it given the role, things would be dharmic, society will be perfect. So this is an interesting situation. I just said this to open thoughts for people, those who wish to think. You can think in this terms, and of course put comments if you wish to ask questions. Just ask questions, comments, and maybe one could interact. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.